white privilege and capitalist interest is going to be kept. Can you not, in a constitutional democracy, in a unitary state, can you not, even in terms of Prayer 5, allow people to pass with their meat for their personal consumption?
Well, why didn't you ask for that in your prayer?
It is there.
Oh, I see.
It doesn't have to be written in a way how you want it.
Now, I put to you that, you know, and you say, so let me ask you this. Is there, you know what the difference between a fact and speech argument is?
Well, I know the difference because you are just doing the same, some speeches and facts.
Yes.
You
So you know the difference.
Yes.
Is there any fact in any witness statement, not views, missions, visions, or anything, any fact in any witness statement of any of the defendants with what you agree?
What I agree with?
Yes.
Well, not facts,
Okay.
but what I agree with, and you see in terms of those documentations, what I agree with is, for instance, it should be your client in the discovery burden and things like that. They file Mr. Bonzaya's client. The cabinet resolution, for instance, directed the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of International Relations to inform the Angolan government about the erection of a fence along the Namibia-Angola border. It's contained in those discovery documents.
So what about that now?
I'm explaining to you what I agree with. So it is contained, then I read about, oh, okay. So there is a recognition there that this tool of division of our people cannot stand, cannot be sustained. Therefore, somebody wants to move it, and the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of International Relations, whom we have summoned, because we knew that she was given this specific instruction. We wanted to understand how far are you. So on that aspect, we agree. We agree that there is a recognition by the regime. That's why the regime will instruct its Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of International Relations to go and engage. This is a cabinet decision that is before court. So that aspect is encouraging, because it's a recognition that the 125 years tool, that what Minister Schledwein calls the tool of division, cannot continue. That aspect we agree.
Yes, I think, you know, you would have seen in the witness statements of many of the defendants that government actually intends in the long run to remove the fence.
That is what exactly the problem is. You would also see in the document that you objected to it being admitted here. The research was carried out between 2012 and 2013. The government, as we speak, again, commissioned another study.
Yes.
So the regime keep moving from postponing and postponing and postponing and postponing. These nice, during election, it will say this, then they pay millions for this. Another study must be conducted again. Those are facts, right? So we are saying, because you can't postpone the enjoyment of rights to say, no, the discrimination must continue, the humiliation must continue, so that for some distant day, then you can enjoy your rights. So we are coming to court and say, because we know the court doesn't play games. It's either the court is with us or it's not with us. The politician that you think that we must listen to can keep shifting the goalpost. We are coming to court to vindicate those rights, not for people. Why? Because people are enjoying those rights today. Yes. I'm not sure whether you're a farmer. I'm sure you might enjoy this right. But the point is, we agree with that principle.
Yes, for that matter, I'm a farmer above the red line, sir.
Oh, okay.
Is
that a fact?
Well, look at the red line there.
Is that a fact?
The question that I'm asking you is, government is on record that it wants in the longer run to remove the fence, but it wants to do so scientifically. Do you agree with that?
That is why scientifically government commissioned a study. And that study, and government took a decision, cabinet took a decision, it's in the papers. And they called consultants and they paid millions. What are the consultants to do? What is the implication of the total removal of the veterinary cordon fence? The conclusion there is that if you remove this line, our country's GDP agriculture's contribution to GDP will increase from 5.1% to GDP to 20%. So the continuity of this colonial instrument is denying us an opportunity, according to government, is denying us an opportunity of having an increased contribution to GDP and many other examples. It speaks about employment, it speaks about how many cattle can be sold and things like that. So government already, in terms of objective facts, government have already considered that it is in the advantage of the people of Namibia to remove that. As I said, we agree, we observe that, but we don't trust them because they keep moving from one goalpost to another.
So you want
legally, that's why we are coming to the court. The court is not in the business of saying, continue suffering now, while the politicians are going to find another time. What happens if it's a new government with a different agenda altogether? The issue of rights of the people of Namibia cannot in any way be postponed because of the actions of politicians. That's why we are here at court. If we thought that the court is not relevant, we would have explored other remedies. So we are safe with court, because the court is either with us, we don't see the court as postponing to some other future date. But the reasonableness on our part, to answer on maybe that's where you are driving, the reasonableness on our part is found in terms of prayer 6, right?
The reasonableness.
Yes, reasonableness on our part. Reasonableness in a sense of to recognize the complexities.
Oh, it is complex, eh?
No, allow me to speak, not for the purpose of your case. The reasonableness in terms of that prayer is to say, okay, maybe they need to buy enough trucks, they need to do what, they need to be able to see, to take off the plug and cut and all. So let's be reasonable, give them 90 days to remove this in terms of the implementation of that. So these prayers are carefully considered.
Carefully considered.
These prayers are carefully considered. These prayers are carefully tested. And our case remains solid.
I'm going to ask the court for us to adjourn now. Let me put this for you to ponder and you can answer this. If this court orders that fence to be broken down in 90 days and there's free flow of animals, nobody may stop, everyone can just come south, go north. You know what the percentage of meat exports will be? I put to you 0. 0, sir. Do you accept that?
No, those are speculation to save the white interest and those that are owning and controlling the economy. I already said that your client said in the annual report, 2020-2021 report, there were 900,000 cattle south of the red line, 1.5 million cattle. The rinderpest disease, when it came, those northern farmers, all the way from Kaoko to Caprivi, they were left on their own. They were left on their own, no instrument to protect their cattle, but they are resilient. They still continue. They are still able, in terms of your client's finding, they are still able to have 1.5 million cattle without disease control, without protection from the regime. They are still able to have 1.5 million cattle while certain part of the red line, with all this control, with all these privileges, with all this regime that is protecting them. 900,000. 16,000 pigs, 68,000 pigs.
I'm not talking about numbers. I'm talking what the Europeans say, and you've read that. If the line is broken away, they will not buy our meat, not one cattle from the north and not one cattle from the south. That is the case of government. That is government's concern. Don't you understand that?
There is no evidence to that effect, number one. Number two, these speculative opinions, I see Pistorius and other people who are saying what they are speculating is going to happen, is countered, number one, by a government, because you can say that on affidavit, but at the same time you have a report. Fortunately, it was not admitted on our part. It has been discovered by the defendant, so the document is still before court. That report, scientific report,
it's
consulted
not a scientific
everyone.
Report. It's a report done by Dirk Conradi.
Can I finish? It's not done by Dirk Conradi. Conradi was a lead. Yes. That's why we wanted him to be here to testify by himself. He was a lead consultant. It was a consortium. You understand the meaning of the word consortium. It's not one person. So that government report, as adopted by government, says that our country is going to benefit. You and your client are denying our country from benefiting from, according to government version, from benefiting from 20% of a country's GDP. Look, we didn't have, for instance, factually, We didn't have the market in Ghana. We didn't have market in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So market people change all the time. A new leader comes. So what if those Europeans just decide, not because of your red line, we are going to Argentina. So are we going to run a country? Are we going to trample on rights of people because Europeans, as you have said, it's good that it's on record, because Europeans are saying they are not going to buy the meat.
Yes, so
What
you
if
at
the
least
Ghanaians are going
accept,
to buy our meat?
sorry, this is very important. So you accept that the Europeans threaten that they will not buy our meat if the red line comes down
Meatco have succeeded in finding new markets.
and went bankrupt.
Well, that's your view, and with Savannah beef. So Meatco have already indicated that new markets have been found. So if it was only the case that those Europeans, it was the same when Sydney Martin's abattoir closed with the Norwegian quota. We don't think people died for this country for us to be held at ransom by Europeans and what they think. We don't believe that if we remove the red line, because factually, on facts, the document indicate that our country will benefit in employment, in GDP, in national cohesion. We are a unitary state. We cannot maintain a colonial tool.
Yes, that is a perfect political
We cannot-
speech, sir. I'm going to vote for you. You're such a
No.
good politician, but you're not going to win this case. Can we continue tomorrow, my lord?
You are not the judge.
I'm
We will
putting
win
it
this
to you.
case.
I know a bit about the law.
Can I call order? I will allow cross-examination. I don't allow exchanges, political exchanges in my courtroom. Tate Amupanda, you kept on using the term regime. What does regime mean?
It's regime is an English word that speaks to the machinery and mechanism. You see, for example, when the minister delivers a budget speech.
You see what? Let me do this. My jacket, what color is it?
Black,
Black.
yes.
And my bib?
White,
Yes. That's straightforward questions that I'm asking. I
Yes.
want straightforward answers. What is the meaning of the term regime?
the regime is a government of the day.
My understanding of the Oxford English Dictionary is regime is an authoritarian government. Is my understanding correct?
So, well, no, I did hear that. They were.
I said the dictionary. I didn't say I heard it.
Yeah.
I said the English Oxford Dictionary defines regime as an authoritarian government.
Not necessarily. That's not my understanding of it. Okay. The word regime refers to the government. Yeah? As a political scientist, that's how I understand. The regime refers to a government. That's why you even say a person saying the budget regime. If it was a dictatorial, it basically means then that the budget regime that is being followed, it will be authoritarian.
Is there a budget government? What is it that you are referring to?
No, the budget, I'm saying a minister of finance, when they are tabling a budget in parliament, they will talk about the budget regime.
Wow, when
If
did
we-
you hear that word?
Oh, okay, I can produce it.
All right.
So-
I asked the question and you are saying regime
not.
is... Yeah, okay. I just wanted clarity on what the term regime means, that's all. All right, shall we proceed tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock?
Thank you, my lord. I'm on.
Protocol that was just established. I, together with Mr. Nekwe and Ms. Shiva, protocol that was just established.
But because this matter is of such national importance and it is of importance to the public to know the reasoning of the court in reaching its decision, the court will read the ruling into the record. So there's going to be take a few minutes. The court will then proceed to read the ruling.
Protocol that was just
Contended that the present application must be stayed, while the first, second, third, and fifth respondents argued the contrary, namely that the application should not be stayed but should be heard outright. The court is now ceased with the determination of the issue. Parties and legal representation. The applicant is the Independent Patriots for Change, a political party that is duly registered as such in terms of the Act and participated in both election for members of the National Assembly and President. The applicant shall be referred to as IPC. The first respondent is the President of the Republic of Namibia, duly elected. May render the proceeding would be abdicating its powers and would be shying away from the matter. IPC seeks the following relief, and I quote, 1. Declaring Proclamation number 34 of 2024 in violation of Article 46 sub 2 of the Constitution of the Republic of Namibia and in contravention of Section 64(3)(b) of the Electoral Act, a temporary in a relatively
Ancora please, EC 5 of 2024.